together makes a rhythm. Should have, I should have married Stephen. Why do you think that? These two words, do and you combine them to make a rhythm. Do you, why do you think that? Well, I might have had children by now. Once again, that's combining the model with have. Could be, but you never know. This is another rhythm that's created by combining two words together. But you. I'll read it one more time for you so you can hear the intonation of the rhythm. I should have married Stephen. Why do you think that? Well, I might have had children by now. Could be, but you never know. You might not have been happy. True. So at this point, I would have the kids read the dialogue after me. I would read, they would read.
Okay.
And I would be A, they would be B.
Okay.
Would be A, and I would be B.
Right.
And I might even have one or two students stand up and do it with me. Maybe some exceptional students to be good examples for the kids. That would make them shine and be content. And maybe some of the worst students so they can gain some confidence.
Okay.
And we might go over that for a few minutes, but you don't want too long because it's moving forward.
Right.
And the next part would be the grammar. And I've prepared a couple sheets for that. One sheet is dealing with perfect modals. And I found that your book has some, it's oversimplified. So I made a sheet right here. You can look at it if you like. And I also prepared a verb list, which has a lot of past participles. It has the present tense, the past tense, and the past participle. These are all irregular verbs, by the way. It's the third one over there. Now, this particular grammar sheet, I would discuss with the kids. And first of all, I would remind them that perfect modals use the present perfect tense. And that is have or has plus the past participle.
Right.
Because when we're using perfect modal, we only use have. We cannot use has.
Okay.
The perfect modal structure we only use with have, like I said, so there is no third person conjugation. Now, there's certain words that we use. One is should, and should shows regret. And a regret is something that you're unhappy about. It's either an action that happened or didn't happen in the past. And as an example, I wrote some examples here with the situation. You have to have a situation.
Exactly. Right.
I didn't do my homework, so the teacher is mad. And the perfect modal for this situation would be, I should have done my homework. And I'll tell them, I should have done my homework, to reiterate that pattern, that rhythm. I should have done my homework.
So there's a context, right?
Yeah. And I'll read that with the kids and practice the intonation with them. The next word, the next modal that I'd like to use is could. And once again, we use could have plus the past participle. Could have shows that you were able or unable to do something in the past. And again, I have a situation. My mom thinks you don't like her food because you didn't eat much. And the perfect modal for the situation is you could have eaten more. You could have eaten more. So that's another modal. The next modal I'd like to discuss is would. And would is dealing with a past condition. This modal shows a different possibility if conditions were different. The situation, for example, would be there was a fire in the school and the children couldn't get out. I didn't want them to die, so I ran in to save them. The perfect modal for this would be the children would have died if I didn't run in and save them. Would have died. That shows that if the condition was different, things would have been different. And the next modal I'm going to use is may and might have. Now these two modals are the same meaning. They talk about a guess, an assumption, or a speculation. Something that you really don't have any proof about. As an example, Sonny was not in the office today. The modal for the situation is he may have been sick. I don't know. He may have been sick today. May have. You can't combine have. There's no abbreviation for this particular modal. Might have. You can pronounce it, but may you cannot combine have for that. The next example, and the last one, is must. Now, must is a probability. It's a past probability. This modal shows that there is a reason to believe something happened, but one is not completely sure. As an example, it's 12 o'clock. Jared left his office. I know he always goes to lunch at 12 o'clock, but I don't know for sure where he went. So the perfect modal for the situation is Jared must have gone to lunch. He must have gone to lunch. And in each of these sentence patterns, underline the present tense verb and show them where to use the past participle as well. You can give this to Alice if she'd like to see.
Right. Okay, definitely.
And once again, this list here has any number of past participles that they can use as common past participles for them to use on the spot. After explaining this grammar, I might write a few situations on the board.
Okay.
As an example, one of these, or in particular, I didn't brush my teeth this morning.
Right.
And then I would tell them, what kind of advice can you give me?
Right.
Maybe he would raise his hand and say, you should have brushed your teeth this
Right.
morning.
Okay.
And I'll be like, why?
Uh-huh.
And they'll think about something. So I might write it out to encourage them to be like, well, my girlfriend wouldn't kiss me. She would not have kissed me.
Right.
Or
Okay.
something like that.
Right.
And it's something, kids kissing, they think that's interesting, they think that's fun. So,
Yeah.
they might, or stinky breath, or
Right.
whatever it might be, something more tailored for their
Exactly.
age group.
Right.
And I'll continue writing these situations on the board and encouraging them to get involved, because before you can do pair work, they have to really know this grammar
Exactly.
really well.
Right.
And so that's why I have these sheets here to help them with that.
Mm.
And we'll keep on making sentences until their attention span wanes, and then I might start going into the pair work.
Okay.
And for the pair work, I'll read through for them. I should have studied architecture.
Right.
Why? I would have been a great architect.
Right.
And we'll read, I'm A, they're B, and switch off.
Right.
And at this point, I might even take some of these and do that with them.
Okay.
And I would concentrate on these two modals, should have and would have. And we would use this dialogue in that fashion.
Okay.
And when they're ready, and I think they're ready and they can do it, they can
Right.
break into pair work.
Okay.
And during the pair work, I'll walk around the classroom
Right.
and maintain discipline, make sure they're focused on their group work.
Okay.
And if they aren't paying attention, I might walk up to one of them and initiate the dialogue with them, just so that they can practice. And you can't do that for too long because they'll lose, they'll lose their attention.
How do you plan to assign their groups?
Well, usually
randomly
you let
or-
them choose.
Okay.
If I don't know them, they have to choose. But
Right,
if I know them
okay.
very well, and these two kids should be together,
Right. Then
then they
separate.
have to be together. Yeah.
Okay.
And after that, I'll come back to the front, and I might have some kids come up to the front to show
Right.
for the class.
Okay.
Like I said, maybe the best examples of all.
Right.
So that way everyone can see
Right.
how it's done,
Okay.
and those kids can shine.
Exactly.
And then maybe bring up the some
Not so good
not
ones.
so good students,
Right.
and that way they have confidence speaking in front of people,
Okay.
and encourage them that way. And then I'll go back to the very beginning of the lesson, which is the conversation model,
Okay.
and just do choral reading. Because if you do choral reading at the very end of every lesson, you have a really good group impact, and you can
Right.
feel the power of 30 students speaking really loud, and it's
Okay.
just a good way to sum up things and end things.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And,
that I didn't know.
Well, not everybody does it.
No, I mean, but it's a
just
good
my style.
idea. I get the
And you feel
logic
like you're
behind
finished,
it. Right. Right. Right.
And I'm sorry I can't role play for you. 'Cause
It's okay.
it's
No
not a
problem.
classroom.
Right.
That's one way of teaching this particular lesson.
Perfect.